Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you happen to be viewing from. My name's Karima and I am from Dynamic Online Service, Marketing That Converts, and I'm coming to you today, 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, the 11th of February. And welcome. So, over the last few weeks, couple of months, I've been doing a stream of DIY ads, DIY meta ads, helping to people understand how to do them, to whether they want to do them themselves or whether they want to engage someone else to do them. It really doesn't matter. The aim has been to help people understand a lot of the moving parts that are behind them. You'll find them on my YouTube channel. That's called Marketing That Converts, or you can go to karimar.com, which is my website, and you will also find the link to the YouTube channel there. You'll also find the videos on there. Not always up to date because I can be a bit slack at times. But today, coming out to Facebook Live, what I wanted to talk to you about is, are you ready for meta ads? And by meta, I'm saying Facebook and Instagram. It can be Facebook alone, it can be Instagram alone, or it can be Facebook plus Instagram. And what unfortunately I see far too often is people say Facebook ads don't work, Instagram ads don't work, or I've spent thousands and I'm not getting any results. Well, you know the problem? The problem is you probably weren't ready to do them. Or they weren't done properly in the first instance, but more often the point is you weren't ready to do them. I cringe when I go through my Facebook feed and I see, obtain a ROAS of 10 times. We will do Facebook ads for you with and you won't pay for performance model. You won't pay till we get results, but you will pay. You're paying ad spend. Okay, maybe you're not paying a management fee, and maybe those businesses are really good at screening who they should be working with. The trick there is what they do is they go into the ad accounts, and unless you're doing $15,000 a month plus in sales, then they won't take you on as a pay-for-performance client. The ones that really scare me, those is, that will charge $3, $4, even $500 a month, and up, sometimes $3,000, $4,000 a month for management fee plus the ad spend, and you're down a hole. And they should never ever have even thought about Facebook ads right from the get-go. So how I do it when I have a client or I'm looking at a business, or whether I'm just assessing for an agency or whether I'm assessing for a client or someone's come and said, I want to do Facebook ads, there's a sequence of things I look at. First, I go and look at their social media presence. I do it like it's an audit. It's basically an audit. Those audits can be very large and expensively paid for, or they can be just really quick audits. If it's generally just someone asking, am I ready for Facebook ads, then it's a quick video to camera audit done for free. Again, information on my website, karimar.com. I really must fix that. Let's fix that banner down there. I can't do it while I'm on the thing, obviously. So the first thing I do is I look at their social media accounts. How many followers have they got? How often are they posting? What sort of engagement are they getting? What sort of social proof are they getting? What proof of concept of what they're selling, service or product, have they been getting? So is there people commenting on what they're doing? Is there testimonials around, as I say, at the social media level, at any account that they've got running, whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook or on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, it doesn't really matter. How are people interacting with their brand and what sort of feedback are they getting? Because that's all free stuff. If you can make it work on free, you can also make it work on paid, and it's a great place to start. So I go through all of that. Then I get across to their website. And I just need to share screen. And I start having a really good look at their website. So this is my one of my sites, Pet Care Magic, and I'm looking to see what the user journey is like. How likely we call it CRO, conversion rate optimization. How likely is it if we were to send ads to this site that people would be able to add to cart, initiate payment, and then purchase? is there any hiccups over on this site? Now, that's assuming that we send the right people via the right copy and the right creative and the right headlines over to this site. That's what Facebook ads or meta ads are all about. They're called a funnel. They're about the ads at the front end to all of the stuff that I've been talking about over the past, I don't know how many weeks, the copy, the creative, the headline, the targeting, the audiences, the retargeting, the whole setup. That's the first bit. Then the second bit is we get a certain number of impressions for the ads, and then we get a certain number of landing page views. And then we go and have a look at the landing page. So whether you're sending them to, this is a Shopify site, so whether they're being sent to the homepage or whether they're being sent to one of the collections. These are various collections. How likely is it when they get there? So I'll be sitting at the front end of this store and I'll be saying, okay, so how well is this presenting? Does it appeal? What are the prices like? How easy is it to navigate? What is there any social proof happening on here? Is there testimonials? What does it look like on mobile? Because that's very, very important. We look, I mean, obviously this is on a 27-inch desktop, but we know that 80 to 90% of people, in fact, those figures are creeping up all the time, and depending on the niche you're in, are now looking at websites on mobiles. So how well does something present on mobile? And that just reminds me, this doesn't present well on mobile and I need to do some work on it. What is being said? How much is, I just realized I have got my free shipping over, forget what the figure is, banner turned off for some reason. I don't know why I've done that. What is the shipping costs? What do the products look like? What's the energy coming off the website? Because I am a Reiki master and an intuitive healer, I also look at the feel that's coming off a website. I had someone looked at this website and said, it's too colorful. And I went, okay. So I went and put like overlays on the top of all these to take the color down. But what I did was I adversely impacted the energy feel of the web. Pets are supposed to be fun, happy. They are supposed to be colorful, which always amuses me because dogs and cats can't see colors. How many, what's the testimonials that are on here? How well is the story about the business being told? You'll often see, in fact, there was one I looked at this morning and it was hats. Okay. They were hats for couple of $100 each, and they were lovely and well worth that price. Great story behind it, but the particular business owner hadn't told that story on the website. They'd sort of half told it on social media, and I said, you've got to bring all of this onto the front of your website and tell the story. Hence on this, I tend to sell the story. So learn more about our services and our journey, because Pet Care Magic isn't about leads and collars and harnesses and stuff. It's about Reiki healings and animal communication and who am I. And why I'm doing this, view all blogs, and then the usual gumph at the bottom. So you're looking at that, you're going into a product and you're looking at how easy or hard is it to purchase that product? How easy or hard is it to, change the numbers on it, to add to cart? What happens when you add to cart? Because so often I've seen, Facebook ads have been running. They've been doing really well. They've been driving people across to a website, and then there's no sales come off them. There was one we launched. I was working for an agency. It's going back a few years now. And over the course of a weekend, just like Friday 5 p.m. till, Monday 8 a.m. or whatever it is, we've sent 1,000 people to his website. And we got not one sale. And I must admit, in those days, I wasn't doing nearly as much CRO as I do now, which is conversion rate optimization and auditing. And also, I was just the contractor, not the person running the agency. He said, yeah, you're right for Facebook ads. And I'm thinking, okay. And that wasn't a small budget that weekend. 1,000 impressions. I think he spent maybe $400-500. And then it gave me the ammunition to say, there's a problem with this website. So the other thing we do with websites is we do a speed test on it. how quickly, and I'll tell you now, Pet Care Magic has a problem with its speed. It's only about 18 out of 100 on a mobile site, and about 30 or 40 out of 100 on a desktop site. So it's got a speed problem, and I'm working on that. So speed, how likely, so out of those impression numbers, where speed comes in, out of those impression numbers, just because they show an impression number on Facebook doesn't mean that they actually landed on the landing page. So after having looked at the front end, and we've looked at the add to cart, and I've looked at what it looks like, is pictures good, is there a number of pictures, is the story being told well on the back here, are there reviews, are there related products, is there upsells going on, is there cross sells going on, is there bundles being offered, is there a privacy policy, shipping policy, refund policy in terms of service links in here, is the social media connected. I'll have a really good look across all of the site, the front end of the site, and say, is it likely to convert? Because if it's not likely to convert, then please don't waste your money sending ads to it. Work on the site. Go to your social media accounts and send people to it organically. Sell products for it up there, or go and have a Shopify, a Facebook site on Facebook from your Shopify site or from your WooCommerce site, WordPress WooCommerce site, and send people there without any cost to you to do it. Do all that as a testing process before you dive into the deep dark worlds of paid ads. The other thing we do when we're looking at the CRO aspects of it is to get onto the back end of Shopify, and here is the back end of that same Shopify site. And I usually start with the analytics. Let's say it's on 1st of January 23 to 11th of February 23. I'll say, how many sales has there been? So it's not just about sales. I know this website's not converting, and I know the issues about it, and I know what I'm doing about it. But it's not just about what is their sales. It's how many people. And actually, I want to go back to before then, because I started running, because it's my money and I know I don't care what the mistakes were. I started doing paid ads to this back on the 1st of December. I turned them off, I don't know, back around here somewhere, around the middle of January. We're not comparing it. So it wasn't just about was there conversions, 2 added to cart, 2 reached checkout, 1 converted. It wasn't about getting sales. It was about sending people over here, because my aim back at the beginning of December was to build audiences. Now, again, as I'm saying, that's not the way I would do it for a paid customer. It was the way I was fiddling around with doing it, because I like to learn things as well. So we'll go on. I will go on to the back end. I'll ask, because I'm a Shopify a partner, I will ask people to connect me into their Shopify accounts. That costs them nothing. And I will go and sit and have a look at this. Depending on how long the store's been running, if it's been running some time and it's a mature store, then I will probably look at the analytics over the whole of 2022. 1st of January 22 to the 31st of December 22. If it's a new store, then not so much. If it's got some seasonality going on, I'll look at a variety of different time periods over here. And I'm looking at, again, we're looking at conversion rate optimization here. There's lots of things you can get from this back end, but in the terms of conversion rate optimization, how many visitors came to this site over the time period selected up here? So between the 1st of December to the 11th of February, you can see when the ads were turned off. There, right there. It doesn't want to do it because it's... The ads were turned off there about the 9th of January. Doesn't like it because I'm in... Yeah, the ads were turned off about here. 7th of January, 52. 9th of January, 37. 287 on the 5th. You can actually view the report by going into there, but I don't want to go off the screen at the moment. So how many people got across to here? As you can see, 1st of December, not a lot. I don't think I put much money behind this. And then I increased the budget a little bit, changed the ads a little bit, and had, like on the 4th of January, I had 320 sessions A session is the number of sessions, is a period of continuous activity from a visitor. This is a new store, so they were all first time. There wasn't any returning customer, but in a mature store, I will be looking at returning versus new. And I'll also consider returning versus new depending on what the niche is. If it's a consumable niche, like they'll come, they'll buy something, they'll consume it, whether it's a beverage or whether it's a food or something they have to replace, then the first time versus the returning are two completely different things. I want to see how many first time. The Facebook ads are going to be more used to bring two things. The Facebook ads are going to do. One, it's going to be bringing in new customers to the top of the funnel to learn about the business, to become potential clients of the business, potential customers of the business. Then if it's a consumable business, it's going to have a more middle of funnel, bottom of funnel purpose through the ads to have people come back to replenish what they're buying, to replenish what they're using, particularly if it's consumables, or come back and buy again if it's something that they're going to need within a short period of time. If they're not going to need that service again ever, or maybe within 2 or 3 years time, then you don't want a high percentage returning customer rate. There was one business I looked at last year and they had a very high percentage returning customer rate, and that was great. It made them do really well for a couple of years, but then the problem was they were selling, and I mean by sales. And they had a really big push on at the end of last year, like 25-30% off through Black Friday, Cyber Monday, through into Christmas. And like everybody had stocked up. So you don't want to see the returning customer rate over here being much higher. The returning customer rate was like 80%. And the new customer rate was like 20%. So you don't want the returning customer rate over here being very high. If it is, and you're running Facebook ads to it and you're saying, come over and buy, and they're already brought to the hilt, then you're going to have a problem. What you want to be doing is driving new people over. So that's what we look at. We look at not only are you ready for Facebook ads, but what that Facebook ad setup would look like. What is the average order value is the other thing we look at for Facebook ads, meta ads, because the first thing we say to a potential client is, what is your margin on this product? If you've got a margin of around about 40% or less, and now it's even creeping up to 50% because ad costs are getting higher, 50% or less, that's how much money you've got to play with once you pay for the goods. Do whatever you have to do in-house. That includes preparing them for shipping, sometimes includes putting labels and things under them. If you've got a margin of less than about, I'd say 45 to 50% now, then you're going to struggle with Facebook ads. You're really going to struggle because you need to, particularly if you're going to get an agency or a contractor to work for you, you need to factor what that is and how much play you've got to drive sales. So and then we talk about what is the average order value. When people come to your store, don't know whether you can see that, so let's bump up the... So these are gross sales, excluding adjustments, minus discounts, excluding adjustments, divided by the number of orders. So when a person comes to your store, what is the average amount they're likely to spend? Now, Facebook ads are really good for increasing average order value done right. But if your average order value is very low, combined with a very low margin, then don't do Facebook ads. Trust me, at least not now. The aim then is to, as I said, is to increase the average order if the average order value can be done, and there's ways to do that, which is not the subject of what I'm doing here today. Then we also look at this conversion rate. Is an overall conversion rate is 0.02%, but it's breaking it down, as I said, into the funnel. So we have the funnel of Facebook people coming off ads, and you're getting an impression number, and then they're landing on the website. Out of those people who landed on the website, only 0.04% Now, they weren't just landing on the website as a result of Facebook ads. They were landing, these figures are landing on the website from anywhere. Maybe, I know what that one session conversion is. I know because it's the person I sold a puppy to. And she used the hum process on here to get the puppy and pay the puppy off. So we look here and we go, okay, so what's the numbers of sessions converted? How many added, what's the percentage of add to carts? What's the percentage who reached checkout? And then what's the percentage who actually who actually completed the purchase? And if the add to cart is, you might see an add to cart of 15%. Great, fantastic. That means a very high percentage that came across from wherever they came from. If you're not running Facebook ads or even if you are running, so if you're not running Facebook ads, then they're coming from somewhere. So we're looking at what is the desirability, the conversion, the ability of these products to sell once people find out about them. Because Facebook ads Meta ads can only help people find out about them. They don't necessarily help them buy them. It's the site that helps them buy them. So if the add to cart's very high and the reach checkout is only just marginally lower, and then the sessions are only just marginally lower, then what it tells me is that people feel quite comfortable when they've got to the site, adding to cart, initiating checkout, and purchasing. And that's great. It means the front end of the site's working well, the add to cart process is working well. It could also be that they've got really good retargeting sequences going on the Shopify site itself, so that those who add to cart and abandon cart are getting a good sequence of emails. And that's all the factors we look at. So to look at those, I will go back into on here on the apps. I will go in and look at the email sequence setup for abandoned carts. I'll look at things like, what are the top products sold? What are the sessions? As you can see, it's very high for people coming from social. That's because there was quite a few people being driven to this site from Meta. And look at the percentage of mobile. Mobile's much higher than anything else. Desktop's unusually high. I suspect that's because I'm making this. I look at this site a fair bit from the front end on desktop, particularly when I'm doing work on it. So I will be making that unusually high. Sales by social source, sales by referrers, sessions by social source. Facebook's quite good. Sales attributed to marketing. That one's not me. That is actually. So there's a good number of people coming over and looking at the site from Facebook. Let's say from Instagram. So if this was a site I'd been asked to do a audit on, I'd be saying this isn't ready for Facebook ads, because there's a lot of people coming over and there's no conversion, there's no purchasing going on. And so I turned off the ads until I can work on them and play around with them and do something else with them. This site was not ready for Facebook ads. This business was not ready for Facebook ads. I also want to check, where they're coming from. The ads were running to Australia and Canada, United States, New Zealand, and the ads weren't running to Ireland, but a few people from Ireland hit it anyway. And then there's, where are they going to once they got here? The ads were running to the front page, so that's quite good. Alternative treatments for pets. That'll tell me, that'll guide me on what the copy and the creative should be shown, particularly when you've got a site that's doing different things. The ads that were running to this were very generic ads about, caring and loving for your pet and giving them the best possible life, which was the problem with the ads. So, and it was going to the front page. So they were going to a whole lot of information, and that's how the real build is going to be about, more specific about some of like the animal communication and the Reiki healings and the readings and that sort of thing is going to be the next step for this, now that I've built an audience behind the scenes. So, this information is going to tell you what they're doing when they're coming here. That's about all you get off there. The apps, as I said, there's going to be, I'm using Seguno for email marketing. It's just a slightly lower level product offering to Klaviyo. why am I using this, not Klaviyo? It's because I do Klaviyo work a lot for clients, and I just want to see how this set up against it. I'm not sending any newsletters. That was the other problem here. So I'm usually looking to see what email marketing has this client got going on, and how has that been working before I say, Facebook ads or Meta ads should or shouldn't go on. It's about the whole marketing strategy that's going on. At times, I've also turned around and said to people, hang on, step back before Facebook ads. You're not ready for Facebook ads or Meta ads. Not only are you not ready for Meta ads, but we need to do a proper marketing plan first. And part of that marketing plan can often be things like, the website's not functioning well, your social media is not doing X, Y, and Z, you're not doing enough email marketing, that whole step back. People I find jump into Meta ads, they jump into Google ads, and the reason they're not getting results is because they just haven't got the infrastructures or the system set up properly. So, I've never sent any newsletters. I've got a welcome. I haven't even got an abandoned cart set up here. So, I know what I'd be saying to this client if this client wasn't me. It would be, you're not ready for Facebook. You're not ready for Meta ads. You're not even ready for Google ads. Something else I was going to tell you, and I've lost it now. No, I've totally lost it now. I might go in and see, is there abandoned checkouts? It's not it. There isn't. This is me, not recovered. I'll have a look at what the products are. I'll have a look at how the collections have been set up. This is obviously the back end of Shopify, so you're seeing all sorts of other stuff sitting there. How much sense does it make? Is there gift cards? Is there customers that are, is there customers that are giving their names, so that they've been driven across from ads, or they've found the site and they're given their names, and they're now, sitting there ready to be marketed to. It's a new bit I haven't seen before. So I will do another video in this. It's not in this series. I've been doing a video in the series called Website Platforms Demystified. I am planning to do some bigger videos on what a Shopify backend looks like. So this is just a mini taste of it. So what I ask you to do is, before you jump into Meta ads, have a really good think about, is that the right place for you to be right now? Right now. I don't mean never, or, at no point in time in the future, or at some point in time in the future. Right now. Is if business was driven towards a site, could the site handle it? Will the site convert? The other side of that coin is, if business is driven to the site, and it's really good business driven to the site, do you have the infrastructure in place within your business to handle that? If you spike the order numbers, particularly in e-commerce, for a shop, now that's great, but do they have the ability to service those orders? Does a coach have the ability to service the number of leads you might send them? You don't want to get yourself into negative territory there. And look, it's great. It's really great when you hear, you see testimonials where, and often they are legit. I've seen them quite legitimately so, where people said, look, I engaged ABC agency and they did such a fantastic job that we had to turn the ads off, or we had to bring down the volume of ad spend, or the volume of ads, because we just couldn't cope, or we had to put on 3 new packing staff. Have you got, and I say this a lot to the home hobbyists, maybe you're making candles, maybe you're doing jewelry, have you got the capacity to handle increased volumes? Because if you haven't, then don't do Meta ads, because if Meta ads are done properly, you should get increased sales. So have you got the ability to handle that? There was a client I was looking at last year, and they they did meta ads and put up a whole lot of claims there about some products they had coming in from the US. And of course, the US products ended up on a slow boat from God only knows where. It was the US via Antarctica and then up to Alaska and then back to the Arctic and maybe maybe did a circumnavigation of the world 6 times before they got here. And of course, they got negative review after negative review because they had sold, as pre-sale, they had sold those products. So be very careful and think through the whole system before you go and engage in meta ads. I'm thinking that's about all I can tell you for the moment. I'm just going to stop screen share. So yeah, think it through. Meta ads are not for everybody 100% of the time. If you've already got a business in trouble, a website in trouble, a manufacturing system in trouble, you're losing sales, you can't get sales, throwing meta ads at it isn't going to help you. It helps you increase volume, done properly, helps you increase volume, but it doesn't help you save a business that's already in trouble. Okay, so I'm sure you know the drill. Like, comment, share, find the YouTube channel and subscribe. Come across to the website and have a look at what else I've got to offer. And have a great weekend or rest of the week, depending on where you are and what time you've seen this. Thanks. Bye. I can't find the mouse. There we go.